Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much once again to all dear devotees from ISKCON of Bergen County. Thank you for kindly being present here. Really grateful to each and every one of you. Thank you, Ram Tulsi Prabhu, for kindly introducing me. Thank you once again to Sankrik Kaur Mataji for kindly arranging this particular program. And today, I'd like to speak something about the glories of Lord Nityananda by quoting Srila Prabhupada. So I will share a quote from His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says something about Nityananda Prabhu, and Srila Prabhupada says in his purport to Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 3.85. In Khaddah, sometimes people misunderstood Nityananda Prabhu to belong to the Shakta Sampradaya, whose philosophy is Antah Shaktah Bahih Shaivah Sabhayam Vaishnavo Matah. According to the Shakta Sampradaya, a person called Kaul Avadhut thinks materially, while externally appearing to be a great devotee of Lord Shiva. When such a person is in an assembly of Vaishnavas, he appears like a Vaishnava. Actually, Nityanand Prabhu did not belong to such a community. Nityanand Prabhu was always a brahmachari or a sannyasi of the Vedic order. He was a Paramhamsa. Sometimes he is accepted to be a disciple of Lakshmi Pati Tirtha. If he is so accepted, Nityanand Prabhu belonged to the Madhva Sampradaya. He did not belong to the Tantric Sampradaya of Bengal. So this is Srila Prabhupada speaking about Nityanand Prabhu. And it's an interesting fact because there is often quite a lot of mystery surrounding who is Nityanand Prabhu and what is his identity, what are his glories. Today, I'll try to briefly explain about who is Nityanand Prabhu, what is his identity, what are his glories. Dear devotees, first and foremost, we should understand a fact that Bhagavan Shri Krishna, he is known as Swayam Rupa. Swayam Rupa means he is the original personality of Godhead. So Swayam Rupa is Bhagavan Krishna himself, and he is the original personality of Godhead, and his immediate form is known as Swayam Prakash. So Swayam Prakash is Shri Balaram, and Shri Balaram is the immediate form of Shri Krishna, and Shri Balaram is described in Shastra to be non-different from Shri Krishna, although Shri Balaram has his own specialties. Now, dear devotees, when Shri Krishna appears as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the same Shri Balaram appears as Shri Nityananda Prabhu. So, dear devotees, we should first and foremost understand what is the identity of Shri Balaram, because once we understand the identity of Shri Balaram, then we will also be able to understand the identity of Nityanand Prabhu. Because Nityanand Prabhu is Shri Balaram who has appeared in Kali Yuga. This is confirmed by Shri Narottam Das Thakur. Brajendra Nandana Yai Shachi Sutta Haila Sei Balaram Haila Nitai. That he who was the son of Nanda Maharaj previously in Dwapar Yuga, he became the son of Shachi Devi in Kali Yuga, and Shri Balaram became Nityanand Prabhu. So in this way, we know that Shri Nityanand Prabhu is Shri Balaram's appearance in the age of Kali Yuga. But who is Shri Balaram? In order to understand that, we need to understand something about the three functions of Krishna's internal energy. Dear devotees, first and foremost, we should know that Krishna has three main potencies. And what are the three main potencies that Shri Krishna has? First is known as internal potency, and this is known as Antaranga Shakti. Second is known as external potency, and this is Bahiranga Shakti. And third is known as marginal potency, and this is known as Tatastha Shakti. So Antaranga Shakti is Krishna's internal potency, which is responsible for three-fourths of the creation, that is spiritual world. External potency, Bahiranga Shakti, also known as Maya Shakti, she is responsible for one-fourth of the creation, that is material world. And Tatastha Shakti is nothing but all the jivas. So dear devotees, these are the three potencies of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Antaranga Shakti, which is taking care of the spiritual world. Bahiranga Shakti, which is taking care of the material world. And Tatastha Shakti, which consists of all the jivas. Now, dear devotees, let us take the first one of these, known as Antaranga Shakti. Now, Antaranga Shakti or internal potency, it has three functions, three main functions. And what are the three main functions of the Antaranga Shakti? The first is known as Sandhini. The second is known as Samvit. And the third is known as Ladini. What is Sandhini? What is Samvit? What is Ladini? Now I will try to explain. Dear devotees, Srila Sridhar Swami, the famous commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam, has explained these three potencies: Sandhini, Samvit, and Ladini. Who is Sandhini? Sandhini is a function. She is an aspect of the internal potency. And what does this aspect ensure? This aspect ensures Sat. Sat means existence. So, in your mind, please think of the spiritual world, the Vaikuntha planets, Goloka, Vrindavan, Ayodhya, Dwaraka, all the spiritual planets. Dear devotees, these spiritual planets are never created. They are eternally existing. But they are eternally existing because there is one potency of Shri Krishna that is eternally maintaining them as it is. So that potency which causes the eternal existence of the spiritual world, that potency is known as Sandhini. So in the spiritual world, whatever you see in front of you, whether it is the ground, whether it is the trees, whether it is the rivers, whatever you see in the spiritual world, dear devotees, those are nothing but products of Sandhini Shakti. So this is described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita very nicely. I will share my screen and show what is given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 4.64 confirms this. Sandhini rasara amsha Shuddha Sattva Nama Bhagavanir Sattaha Yahate Vishrama. Sandhinira Sara Amsha Shuddha Sattva Nam. Prabhupada says the essential portion of the Sandhini potency is Shuddha Sattva, which means Sandhini, she is made out of Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness. And it says, Bhagavanera Sattaha Yahate Vishram. Forget about other things. Even Lord Krishna's own existence rests upon it. Which means when we see Krishna's body, the threefold bending form, Krishna's body in front of us, when we see that body, dear devotees, that body is made out of a certain energy, and that is the internal energy. Because even Krishna's body in the spiritual world is made out of spiritual energy. Just like our material bodies in this material world are made out of material energy. Similarly, all bodies in spiritual world are made out of spiritual energy, and this spiritual energy has a specific name, a specific aspect which is known as Sandhini. So anything that exists in the spiritual world, they are existing eternally because of Sandhini. I will not use the term created here. I will not say anything in the spiritual world is created by Sandhini, because there is no creation. Everything is eternally existing in the spiritual world. Further, the Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Mata Pita Sthana Griha Shayyasana Ara ए सब कृष्णेर शुद्ध सत्वेर विकार. Mata, mother, Pita, father, Sthan, the residence, Griha, the home, Shayya, the bed, Asan, the place to sit, are all these. E Saba, all of these, Krishnera, Shuddha, Satvera, Vikar, these are nothing but transformations of Sandhini aspect. So, Krishna's mother, father, abode, house, bedding, seats, and so on are all transformations of Shuddha Sattva. But these are nothing but eternally they are manifested by the Sandhini aspect of Krishna's internal potency. So this is what, in the purport also Srila Prabhupada says. The existential Sandhini Shakti in the external potency similarly expands all the variegatedness. So all the variegatedness, not only the spiritual world, is manifested by Sandhini Shakti. So this is what is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamritam. So once again, dear devotees, the Sandhini Shakti is responsible for the Sat aspect of the spiritual world. All existence in the spiritual world happens because of Sandhini aspect of the internal potency. Now, second aspect is Samvit. Samvit is responsible for Chit or knowledge. Now, imagine a spiritual world in which everything is existing, but there is no knowledge of what is what, who is who. Can such a world function? The answer is no, such a world cannot function. Because in order to have proper functioning of any world, we need to have knowledge of each other. One entity needs to know about another entity. That is why we need the second aspect, which is Samvit. And what does Samvit do? Samvit manifests Chit or eternal knowledge in the spiritual world, dear devotees. So that is Samvit aspect. And one Jiva knows about another Jiva. Even Krishna's own knowledge in the spiritual world is manifested by the Samvit potency. So all the knowledge, who is who, what is happening, what is my relationship with Bhagwan, what is my relationship with this particular jiva, what is this particular entity, what color is it. Any sort of knowledge in the spiritual world is manifested by the samvit potency. So that is samvit. And dear devotees, merely existence and knowledge is not enough. The spiritual world was created for a particular purpose. And what is that particular purpose? That particular purpose is to have joy or, bliss. And this is Ananda aspect. So joy, bliss aspect is the Ananda aspect, which is controlled by the Hladini aspect of the internal potency. So Sandhini, Samvit and Hladini. These three aspects control Sat, Chit and Ananda aspects of the spiritual world. So once we understand this, then we can understand the basic functioning of the spiritual world. And these three are aspects or functions of Antaranga Shakti, internal potency. Now, dear devotees, we know that Hladini, for all these three aspects, there is a presiding deity. For Hladini, the presiding deity is Srimati Radharani. For Samvit, the presiding deity is Shri Krishna. But for Sandhini, the presiding deity is Shri Balaram or Nityananda Prabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu or Shri Balaram is the one who is responsible or who is controlling the Sandhini aspect of Bhagwan's Antaranga Shakti or internal potency. Therefore, Shri Balaram or Nityananda Prabhu is said to be the controller of all the jivas, the spiritual master of all the jivas, because he is the one who manifests all the jivas. Although the jivas are eternally existing, he is the one who is responsible for their eternal existence. So the jivas owe their existence, eternal existence, to Shri Balaram or Shri Nityanand Prabhu, and he is the one who is in charge of the Sandhini or eternal existence aspect within the spiritual world. Dear devotees, this same Nityananda Prabhu, when he comes in this particular age of Kali, he comes as an Avadhut. What is the meaning of an Avadhut? An Avadhut is described in Shastra in many ways. Many of us, when we hear the term Avadhut, we have various ideas. So let us understand what is the meaning of the term Avadhut, which is used for Sri Nityananda Prabhu. The devotee Sri Shukadev Goswami is also specified in the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.19.25 as Avadhut Vesha. What is the meaning? Srila Sridhar Swami says, Avadhuto avagyaya janais tyakto. Avadhut means contemptuously rejected by people. A person who dresses and behaves in such a way that people will look upon them with contempt, and society in general will reject such a person. Such a person is known as Avadhut. So Sri Shukadev Goswami was one such Avadhut. Now, when Vidur, he left Hastinapur and went to the forest to meet Maitreya Muni, he is also defined as Avadhuta Vesha. Srila Sridhar Swami comments there and says, Avadhuto asamskrita deha. Avadhuta means having an unkempt or non-maintained body. He did not take bath or did not maintain his body. So that is another meaning of Avadhut. Dear devotees, Rishabdev and Jad Bharat are also described as Avadhutas in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Here the meaning is somebody who has no concern of the material world. And similarly, Narad Muni and Angira Muni are also described as Avadhuta Vesha in the sixth canto. Sri Jiva Goswami says, Avadhutena Veshena iti nijachhadanartham tadakritatvat. Avadhutena Veshena means they dress like that for the time being to cover their identity. So sometimes an Avadhuta externally manifests a dirty body in order to cover his or her uh, spiritual potencies. So these are the various definitions and meanings of Avadhuta that have been given in our literature, such as Srimad Bhagavatam, etc. Now, dear devotees, there are further examples of Avadhuta also mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, and these examples are as follows. In the 10th canto, Sudama, when he visits Shri Krishna, he is also defined as an Avadhuta. What is the meaning of Avadhuta? Sri Sridhar Swami says Malinam. Avadhuta means dirty. Also in the 11th canto, Bhagwan Dattatreya is also defined as Avadhuta. Avadhuta is defined there by the commentators as Abhyangadi Samskara Rahita Deham. Means he has a body that is not cleansed by bathing, etc. So similarly, our Nityananda Prabhu is also defined many places in Shastra as being Avadhuta. So Avadhuta has many meanings as we saw in Shastra, and this particular word, the summary of this word is that in general, a person who is disregarded by society in general, who has an unkempt appearance, who is not concerned with the material world, and there is also a special definition of Avadhuta. Yo vilanghyashraman varnan atmanyeva sthitah puman ativarnashrami yogi avadhutah sa uchyate. Having jumped over all varnas and ashramas, the individual who is situated only in the self is understood to be a yogi beyond varnashram. He is known as an avadhut. This is from a verse which is quoted by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his commentary to Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Khanda, 8th chapter, verse number 10. Yo vilangya ashraman varnan, one who has gone beyond varnas and ashrams, one who does not identify with a particular varna or a particular ashram. Atmanyeva sthitah puman, but is situated in the self. Ati varnashrami, he has crossed over varna and ashrama. Avadhutah sa uchyate. That person is known as an avadhut, dear devotees. So this was the external identity of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And therefore, in the Shastra, Nityananda Prabhu's characteristics also are defined exactly like an Avadhuta. It is specified. Anandena jane baya kona karma kare digambara hayya vastra bandhirena shire जोड़े जोड़े लम्फदे हंसिया हंसिया सकल अंगने बुरे डुलिया डुलिया Anandena Jane Bahya. So this is in the Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Khand, 11th chapter, verses 21 and 22. Anandena Jane Bahya. He out of joy, Anande, na Jane Bahya, he has lost external consciousness. Kona karma kare, he forgot what he was doing. Digambara Hayya. So he removed his external cloth. But if he removes his external cloth, then he'll be naked. Yes, dear devotees, he doesn't worry about that. Bandi lena shire, and then he tied that cloth on his head. Jode jode lamphadai hasiya hasiya. And then he, like a drunkard, hasiya hasiya, he laughed and jumped about. Sakale angane bule dhuliya dhuliya. And like a drunkard in the courtyards, he would, stumble around here and there. So this, dear devotees, is why many people, when they saw Nityanand Prabhu, they could not easily understand his activities. And because they could not easily understand his activities, therefore many people, they developed some sort of a doubt about Nityananda Prabhu. Because Nityananda Prabhu, you know, there was one particular Brahmana at the time of Nityananda Prabhu who also developed this doubt. Dekhi Rama Nityananda Prabhu Ravilas Keho Sukha Paye Karo Na Janme Vishwas. On seeing the pastimes of Nityanand Ram Prabhu, some people became very happy. Keho Sukha Paye Karo Na Janme Vishwas, and some felt no faith in him. Say in Navadvipa Eka Achena Brahman. In Navadvip there was one Brahmana, Chaitanya Sangetar Purva Adhyayan, who previously studied with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which means he was a student of Gangadas Pandit. Chaitanya Chandra te tar bada drida bhakti. He had firm, devotion in Chaitanya Chandra. But Nityananda Swarupera na jane na Shakti. But he was not aware of the potency of Nityanand Prabhu, and therefore he had some doubt in Nityanand Prabhu's activities. So not only today by hearing the activities can somebody become slightly doubtful, but even in the manifest pastimes of Nityanand Prabhu, because of his external behavior as an avadhut, therefore there were many individuals who had doubts by seeing the external behavior of Nityanand. Nityanand Prabhu had taken sannyas in the order of Sri Madhvacharya. But dear devotees, Sri Nityanand Prabhu was beyond the sannyas ashram, beyond Varna and ashram. Later, sometimes he would not be seen even following the rules and regulations of the sannyas ashram. And this was the reason why some individuals developed some sort of doubt towards Nityanand Prabhu. In the same section, that same Brahmana is saying, I cannot understand anything about what Nityananda Avadhuta is doing in Navadvip. Everyone says he is a sannyasi, but he always chews betel nuts mixed with camphor. A sannyasi is prohibited from touching items made of metal, but his body is decorated with gold, silver, and pearls. He has given up saffron loincloth and wears fine silk cloth. He always decorates himself with sandalwood paste and flower garlands. Why did he give up the danda and take up an iron staff? Why does he always live in the homes of Shudras? I do not find his behavior in accordance with the scripture, so my mind has become full of doubts. So, dear devotees, it was very clear that Nityananda Prabhu had gone, his behavior had gone even beyond sannyas ashram, and therefore there were individuals who were manifesting doubts in him. When this particular individual spoke this to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at that point of time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to say something to this particular Brahmana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reaffirmed his faith in Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Rudra vire anya yadi kare vishpan sarvathai mare sarva puran praman. If anyone other than Rudra, Bhagwan Shiva, drinks poison, he will certainly die. This is the verdict of all the Puranas. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that what is allowed for the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not allowed for other jivas in general. And because Nityananda Prabhu is Sri Balaram himself, he may happily cross over the rules of Varna and Ashram. but other ordinary living entities are not allowed to do so. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then quoted a Sanskrit verse. Dharma व्यतिक्रमो दृष्ट ईश्वराणां च साहसं तेजीयसां न दोषाय वह्ने सर्वभुजो यथा नैतत् समाचरे जातु मनसापि ह्यनीश्वरः विनश्यत्याचरन् मौढ्याद् यथा रुद्रोऽब्धिजं विषम्. This is from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 33rd chapter, 29th verse and 30th verse. The status of powerful controllers is not harmed by any apparently audacious transgression of morality that we may see in them, for they are just like fire, which devours everything fed into it and remains unpolluted. One who is not a great controller should never imitate the behavior of ruling personalities, even mentally. If out of foolishness an ordinary person does imitate such behavior, he will simply destroy himself, just as a person who is not Rudra would destroy himself if he tried to drink an ocean of poison. So, in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this praman from the 10th canto. Originally, this was in reply to Parikshit Maharaj's doubt, because Parikshit Maharaj also had a doubt when he heard that Sri Krishna was enjoying amorous pastimes with gopis who were married to other gopas. Parikshit Maharaj said he is dharma personified, Krishna is dharma personified. Why would Krishna behave in such a manner which externally appears to be adharma? In reply to that, Sri Shukadev Goswami specified that those who are within the category of Ishvara, for them one should not consider in terms of ordinary rules of morality. Sometimes they may have some apparent transgression of these ordinary rules of morality, but we should not see any fault in them. This is what Shukadev Goswami explained to Parikshit Maharaj. And this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also explaining to that particular Brahmana. Dear devotees, Sri Krishna's behavior is beyond any trace of doubt. What Sri Krishna did is justified for Sri Krishna because Sri Krishna's body is not made out of material elements: skin, flesh, blood, fat, bone, marrow, and semen. These are the seven material elements of a material body. Shri Krishna's body is not made out of these seven material elements. Shri Krishna's body is completely transcendental and it is made out of seven divine elements. His body is not made out of the material elements. Dear devotees, similarly, Nityananda Prabhu, he is Shri Balaram. Therefore, his activity should not be seen from the material point of view. In the 10th canto, when Shukadev Goswami says like this, the devotee commentator Sri Harishuri further explains what Shukadev Goswami has said. And he composes a verse to explain this particular point. Rajan satyamidam nishiddhamihayat kuryanna tajjatu chit shastram kintvidamanvitam bhavati bhos tatraiva yusmin sada rajagya bibheti vidita sampratyayam tu prabhu सर्वस्यापि विधेरपि प्रतिविधे कर्तास्य तद्भिकुता. Sri Harisuri explains what Shukadev Goswami was trying to say. Rajan Satyamidam. Parikshit Maharaj, this is true what you have said. The rules of morality, they are true. Nishiddhamihayat kuryan natajjatuchit. What is forbidden in Shastra should never be done. किंत्विदम अन्वितम भवति भोस् तत्रैव योस्मिन् सदा राजाज्ञावदलं बिभेति विधित. But Shastra is applicable only to conditioned living entities. All the rules, all the vidhi means rules, all the vidhis are applicable to conditioned entities. who are afraid of negative reactions and who are forced to accept these vidhis like the order of a king. Krishna, however, is Prabhu, Supreme Lord, and the creator of all vidhis. One meaning of vidhis rules, another meaning is Brahma. Bhagwan is the creator of all vidhis, and Bhagwan cannot become subject to law of karma like ordinary living entities. Therefore, how can there be any fear of negative reaction for such a Lord? Vidhi, Brahma has created all the vidhis, rules. Therefore, Brahma is known as Vidhi, the creator of all the rules. But Bhagavan is the creator of Vidhi, the Lord of Vidhi, Brahma. And therefore, he is the supreme Lord of all the Vidhis, all the rules. How can all these Vidhis start exercising their control over Bhagavan? It is simply not possible, O Maharaj Parikshit. Similarly, in the case of Nityananda Prabhu, he is an Avadhut. Therefore, the Vidhis of Shastra are not applicable to such an Avadhut. The devotee Sri Harisuri doesn't stop there. He further explains, Yanmaya kalana samarthadhishano दिङ्मूढवृत्तिर्विधिर् यत्पादे शरणी भवन्नत चतुर्मूर्धापनिष्पापताम् स्वातन्त्र्याद्यपदस्य सत्यवचसा तस्य प्रभोरच्युत स्यास्यस्तत्कृतलेखलङ्घनभिय का नाम संभावना. Oh Maharaj Parikshit, did you forget? Yan Maya Kalana Samartha Dhishano Ding Muda Vrittir Vidhir. Don't you remember a few chapters ago I had spoken about Brahma Vimohan Leela, where Krishna displayed such Yoga Maya, where Krishna displayed so many manifestations of the Gopas and calves that even Vidhi became Mudadhi. He became completely baffled in understanding what was happening. Yat Pade Sharani Bhavan. Then Vidhi took shelter of his lotus feet and Apanishpapatam, and then he asked for forgiveness for his aparadhas. Swatantradya Padasya said this is the original autocrat, Bhagavan. He is Bhagavan Achyuta who doesn't fall from his position at any point of time. How can this Bhagavan Achyuta ever become affected by the dictations of Sri Brahma or the Shastra, dear devotees? Even Vidhi Brahma became fully perplexed in all directions while trying to understand the Lord's Maya. Thereafter, Brahma fell down at his lotus feet with his four heads and thus attained complete cleansing of the heart. The Supreme Lord is the foundational stone of supreme independence, and his words are always true. And how can there be any possibility of fear of disobeying the Vidhis, rules created by Vidhi, Brahma? That Brahma is bowing down in front of Shri Krishna, dear devotees. Finally, Sri Harisuri says, Pitra lekha pramah putra na pita putra lekhadihi dharma esho bhavat sustho na dharmam shosti kaschana. Pitra lekha pramah putra. The father's alekha, will. Will means something a person writes at the time of death. That is called as will. What will happen to my property? What should my sons follow? How should they behave? So the father's will becomes applicable to the son. The son's will never affects the father. By this eternal law, Krishna is never forced to accept any writings of Vidhi, and no irreligiosity is present in his acts. This was nicely proven through Krishna's activities. Dear devotees, I'll specify one last verse for today. Sri Harisuri says, Yadi syad dharmas tadaisham charitram katham shrinvatam syad dharmapahari ततो निर्णयः स्पष्ट एव जनीः स्वयं कर्तुमीशोऽन्यथा कर्तुमीशः यदि स्याद धर्मस्तदैषं चरित्रम. O doubtful soul, if the Supreme Lord's activities consist of adharma, katham shrinvatam syad dharma apahari. How will these acts remove the sins of all those who listen to them? But if you hear the pastimes of Bhagavan Shri Krishna or Sri Nityananda Prabhu, you will feel that you are being purified. All those who have listened to the pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu, none of them have ended up becoming a materialist. They end up becoming purified and they become a devotee. Tato nirnayah spashta eva janiha. Therefore, the conclusion is extremely clear. Swayam kartum ishon yatha kartum ishah. That Lord who can set the rules and regulations of Shastra can also act contrary to them at any point of time. In this way, dear devotees, we can understand from various points of view that we should not have any particular doubt in Nityanand Prabhu's status as an Avadhuta. We should know that he was Bhagavan Balaram who appeared in Kali Yuga. Mahaprabhu therefore said, गृह्णीयाद्यवनी पाणिं विषयद्वांशौण्डिकालयं तथापि ब्रह्मणो वन्द्यं नित्यानन्दपदाम्बुजम्. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, whether Sri Nityananda Prabhu holds the hand of a Yavan woman or enters a liquor shop, his lotus feet are still worshipable even for Lord Brahma. So dear devotees, this is the position and these are the glories of Sri Nityananda Prabhu that are specified by none other than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sometimes, it is said Nityananda Prabhu himself, what to speak of Nityananda Prabhu himself, some of the associates of Nityananda Prabhu were also having the behavior of an Avadhuta. One example is Ragunath Puri. This is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Acharya Vaishnavananda Bhakti Adhikari Urve Nama Chilaya Raghunath Puri. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 11.42 says, the 27th prominent devotee of Nityananda Prabhu was Acharya Vaishnavananda, a great personality in devotional service. Purve Nama Chilaya Raghunath Puri. He was previously known as Raghunath Puri. What is the meaning of previously? Dear devotees, the surname Puri is usually given to a sannyasi. So Aranya, Bharati, Tirtha, Saraswati, Puri, these are all surnames of sannyasis. So Acharya Vaishnavananda was previously known as Raghunath Puri. This very clearly indicates that previously he was a sannyasi, but he also became an Avadhuta and then later was known as Acharya Vaishnavananda. Dear devotees, not only Nityanand Prabhu, Nityanand Prabhu's associates are also having many transcendental pastimes, dear devotees, and Sri Nityanand Prabhu is dearer than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's own brother to him. Therefore, dear devotees, on this particular occasion of Nityanand Trayadashi, which is coming up soon, we should all pray to Nityanand Prabhu that may Nityanand Prabhu give all of us the opportunity to understand him, the opportunity to pray to him, to surrender to him, because he is the original controller of all the jivas. He is the original maintainer of all the jivas in the spiritual world. Dear devotees, with this understanding in our mind, we should pray to Nityanand Prabhu so that we will be delivered to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. With this, I'd like to pause my speech here. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Yadatra skalitam kinchit vidvam saha purayantu tat. Yadatra saushthavam kinchit tad guru reva menahi. Yadatra skalitam kinchit. If there were any mistakes in what I spoke, Vidvamsa, you are all learned devotees, purayantu tat. Please correct any mistakes. Yadatra saushthavam kinchit. But if there was anything nice, please remember tad guru reva. It belongs to my Gurujanas, originally beginning with Sri Nityanand Prabhu. May nahi. It doesn't belong to me. Thank you very much once again, Ram Tulsi Prabhu, for kindly organizing this particular session. Also, my sincere thanks to Sankri Kaur Mataji for kindly arranging the invite. My thanks to all the wonderful devotees of ISKCON of Bergen County and all those who joined this particular call. Thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hey Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. I like the conclusion when you're mentioning that, oh doubtful soul, if Lord activities consist of adharma, then how can his acts remove all the sin? So that actually is very much fitting to Lord Nityananda Mahaprabhu. And gave so many example how many devotees are even confused about actually what he was doing. His Avadhuta character was again beyond actually. So craziness and madness is there definitely. So before any questions and comment, I would like to make some announcement. So devotees, as Prabhuji was mentioning that Nityananda Triyodashi is very coming closer. So Nityananda Triyodashi actually is our anniversary of our center, and it's gonna be the 5th anniversary of our center. And so this year is very, very special for us. So please do not miss it. I think February 21st is our 5th anniversary, and we are going to celebrate in our center at from 6 p.m. onwards. Please do not miss that program. And a lot of all the festival that this year we are going to celebrate in a grand way. So please do not miss it. So this every Wednesday, as we have wonderful speaker from this virtual sangha we have today, we have His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu speaking. So and this coming Sunday, we have Arundhati Mataji speaking in our center program. So our program starts at 4:30 p.m. With Kirtan, 5 p.m. with Aarti, 5:30 with class, and 6:30 p.m. with Shadam. And we also have weekly Bhakti Viksha program in different locations. If anybody would like to be interested, in person association, it's a really homely environment where you can learn, build relationship. This is really a best, I think, a small connected program, I would say. So you would like to join, please let us know. Do not definitely miss it. It's really, really wonderful. We have in multiple locations. And also we have Bhagavad Gita reading every day from Monday to Friday. So that is from 12 p.m. to 12:15 p.m. Get some time out of your work and something just to read Bhagavad Gita, 15 minutes. So you can also join that every Monday to Friday. And we have Japa morning call. So this is very, very important. I think we have emphasizing this to all the devotees. Ultimately, one of the things we really want to develop is disenchanting, and this daily morning meditation that focusing on the holy name. It's very, very wonderful. People can join from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. You can join anytime. Do 1 round, 2 round, but start somewhere. This is a wonderful opportunity. Please connect to that. It's the same Zoom call every single day that is happening. So please join and utilize that opportunity. Also, you can see our calendar where we have all the updates of Ekadashi, fasting break, all the festivals, everything, and all our social media or our YouTube videos, everything is here. You can connect through. So thank you again. So if anybody has any questions, please kindly go ahead.
Yes. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my respectful obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so very much for kindly being here and another amazing session. In fact, just now somebody texted me saying after listening to this very class, like right now, the devotee wants to start reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, like right now. So this just testifies, Prabhu, that when pure devotee speaks from their realizations and from their heart, it moves the heart of the devotees. And those who are, I'm listening to your Upadeshamrita lectures, and there you were saying that if you have the hunger to move on from Kanishta Adhikari to Madhyam Adhikari, I think Prabhu, devotees such as yourself are such an impetus for those kind of devotees to gain that hunger and move forward. So thank you so much, Prabhu, for inspiring so many devotees around the globe. Prabhu, I have a couple of questions. My first question is, Sandini, Samvit, and Ladini, do we use these terms only in connection with the Antaranga Shakti?
No, We also use these in connection with Bahiranga Shakti. Uh, our Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas have specified that the material energy also has its own aspects, which are Sandhini, Samvit, and Ladini. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Krishna Samhita goes in great detail to explain what the Sandhini, Samvit, and Ladini aspects of the material energy are. Basically, the existence of everything in the material world, all the objects that we see around in the material world are manifested by the Sandhini aspect of the material potency. All the knowledge in the material world comes from the Samvit aspect of the material potency. All the bliss in the material world comes from the Hladini aspect of the material potency. Then where does suffering come from? If bliss comes from Hladini, where does suffering come from? Suffering comes from Agyan or ignorance. That is where suffering comes from. So these are explained by our Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas, especially Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has explained this in the Krishna Samhita, that even the material potency has these three aspects within them. So that is the answer to your query. But I'm very thankful and thank you for the kind words of encouragement. I am reminded of what Shakespeare said, that some people are born great, some attain greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. So there are some individuals like Srila Prabhupada who are born great, and then there are some individuals, like many devotees, disciples of Srila Prabhupada, who attained greatness because of contact with Srila Prabhupada. And then there is a person like me who has greatness just thrust upon him without, although he has no qualifications. So that is why I'm here speaking, because greatness has been forcefully thrust upon me, not because I deserve any of that. So that is what I'd like to say, Mataji. But thank you so much for kindly inviting me here. I'm very grateful for the same.
Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, I have one follow-up questions if you have
Sure,
time.
sure. I have all the time.
So, Prabhu, like for Ladini Shakti, Samvit Shakti, and Sandhini Shakti, we have the presiding deities, as we heard. So, even for the material Sandhini, Ladini, and Samvit, do we have the same presiding deities, or they are different presiding deities?
Yeah. So Hladini, Sandhini, and Samvit are not Shaktis. They are aspects of Shaktis, because they are not three independent Shaktis. They are three aspects of one Shakti. So therefore, I sometimes call them functions. There are three functions of one Shakti. Although the correct term is Amsha or aspect. So Sandhini aspect, Samvit aspect, Ladini aspect. So in this material world also, when these three aspects are manifested, basically in the spiritual world, Krishna, Balaram, and Shri Radha are controlling them. But in the material world, directly Krishna is not controlling, directly Balaram is not controlling, directly Shri Radha is not controlling. Vasudev aspect is Sankarshan aspect and Lakshmi aspect. These are the aspects which are controlling, just like Krishna, Balaram, and Radha control. Similarly, Vasudev, Sankarshan, these are the aspects which control which are controlling. But just because they are controlling doesn't mean that they are directly interacting with these aspects. They control. They don't personally get involved with these particular aspects of the material energy. So that is what I'd like to say. I hope that
Sure.
clarifies.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
Prabhu, another question I have is that Nityananda Prabhu is the Adi Guru. Um, Now, the prayers that are offered for the glorification of Nityananda Ram, can we use those prayers for the glorification of our spiritual masters, not in the mood that we are trying to equate them with Nityananda Prabhu, but out of our indebtedness for their causeless mercy on us? So could we do that, Prabhu?
The thing is, when Guru, the term Guru is used, it is used originally for Nityanand Prabhu, and it is also used for the individual gurus who are guiding us in spiritual life. There are technical terms for these two principles of Guru, and I will share these technical terms with you so you can kindly, note them down. When Guru is spoken of as a principle, this is known as samashti. Samashti means sum total, some totality of Guru principle. This is Nityananda Prabhu. So, Nityananda Prabhu is Samashti Guru. Samashti Guru is Guru in some totality. So, that is Nityananda Prabhu. And when Guru is spoken of as an individual, that is known as Vyashti Guru, or individual Guru principle. That is our specific Guru. So, therefore, Nityananda Prabhu or Balaram are known as Samashti Guru. And our individual Guru is known as Vyashti Guru. And therefore, although there is non-difference because both are Guru Tattvas, yet there is difference because the Vyashti Guru is supposed to be Das, servant of the Samashti Guru. That is the Tattvic understanding about this. So, where is this confirmed? So, this is confirmed in the Chaitanya Charitamrita also. I will specify the verse. So, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela 1.44, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says as follows: Yadyapi Amar Guru Chaitanya Radas, Tathapi Janiye Ami Tahar Prakash. Although my Guru, he says, is servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Here he is speaking about the Vyashti or individual aspect. Tathapi, still, Janiyami, I understand Tahara Prakash. I understand him to be Swayam Prakash. That I understand him to be a manifestation also of that particular aspect of Nityananda Prabhu. So this is where the Guru as an individual, Chaitanya Das, and Guru as Chaitanya Prakash, both are spoken of in the same verse. But does Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami use the same prayers for Nityanand Prabhu and his Guru? The answer is no, because the tattvas are slightly different. And because wherever the tattvas are slightly different, we like to introduce Vishesh, specialty. So we love our specialty. So more than non-difference, we love our difference aspect in our philosophy. Therefore, we have separate verses for Nityanand Prabhu, separate verses for our Vyashti Guru. So that is the answer to your query. I hope this clarifies.
Sure, Prabhu.
Yes.
That makes
Thank you.
sense.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Thank you, Mataji. So, anybody else has a question? So before that, I would also like to ask a question, Prabhu. Also, like, as being Guru Tattva, like, we know that Guru actually is also an example for, like, people to learn. So why, like, as Nityananda Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually came to show us how to actually love God, right? The process by himself. So, and assisting Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as being a Guru himself, like, why he really acted like Avadhuta many times and bewildering actually, right, to many, many people. So why is that? Like, how can we understand that?
See, the thing is, in this particular pastime, the main desire was with Krishna. He had three unfulfilled desires. So it is he who has to come as a devotee, and he who has to live the life of that ideal devotee, and he has to show, because in Dwapar Yuga he spoke big philosophy in the form of Bhagavad Gita. It's a man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. And then who is the practical example of that? So he has to come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and show that he himself has to become an ideal acharya. But no such prayojan. There is no such desire in Nityananda Prabhu. He is coming as an assistant to Chaitanya. So he is free to, act out his heart. And therefore, Nityanand Prabhu, sometimes when he is coming here, sometimes he displayed the behavior of an Avadut. Most part of his life, he followed Vedic religion. It's not that always he was showing. Most part, he was sannyasi, he was within an ashram. But in some parts of his life, he displayed that Avadhut behavior. And that is where Bhagavan is showing that, finally, although I created the rules, finally I created the rules because, and at some point of time, I want to break the rules that I created. And I want to show it in front of all the jivas that, this is what my freedom is. If I create the rules, I have the freedom to break those rules. So that is why, he manifested such pastimes. Now, there's also something very nice about Shri Balaram, and why is Shri Balaram known as the Adi Guru, as you very correctly mentioned? Why is Balaram mentioned as Adi Guru? And there is a very nice reason for that particular uh, uh, understanding that we have in the Sampradaya. The understanding that we have is that Sri Balaram manifested his pastimes as a guru because there is a pastime in which took place in the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And which pastime took place in the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam? That is the pastime of Talavan. That is when all the boys, they went to the forest of Talavan. And when they went to the forest of Talavan, then what happened is that they saw all these wonderful tal fruits, and then they said, well, we want to eat these tal fruits. Now, Ram Tulsi Prabhu, they should ideally have asked Shri Krishna that please bring down these tal fruits. But whom did the boys first ask to bring down the tal fruits? Ram Tulsi Prabhu, can you tell me?
It's Lord Balaram.
No, there is a reason why, Prabhuji. There's a big reason why. So, in the 10th canto, when Sri Balram, it is said, Balah pravishya bahubhyam talan samparikampayan phalani patayamasa matangaja ivaujasa. Lord Balram entered the Tal forest first, then with his two arms he began forcefully shaking the trees with the power of a maddened elephant, causing the Tal fruits to fall to the ground. Now, there is a very deep meaning behind this pastime, and dear devotees, those who are listening, please hear carefully. Those of you who have not heard this till now, this is a very sweet realization. Dear devotees, the fruit that Bhagwan Balram pulled down is known as the Tala Phala or Tala fruit. Tala is also known as ice apple, and you can look that up later. Tala Phala. Now, dear devotees, in Sanskrit language, the alphabets La and Ra are interchangeable. So sometimes you will see in Srimad Bhagavatam Prahlad, and sometimes you will see Praharad. Both spellings you will see. Because the syllables La and Ra are interchangeable in Sanskrit. So when we say Tala, Tala also means Tara. That is what we have to understand. Now, what is the meaning of Tara? This is what we have to understand. Because what is Tala Phala is also Tara Phala. Because there is no difference between La and Ra. Now, what is the meaning of Tara? Dear devotees, the term Tara has a very special meaning in the Sanskrit language. Now, I will share the various meanings of Tara. I will show you what is the meaning of Tara that is specified in Shastra. Dear devotees, you can see here, Tara has many meanings. One of the meaning of Tara is the syllable Om. You can see here. One of the meanings of the term Tara is the syllable Om, the original syllable of the Vedas. That is the meaning of Tara. Now, let's come back. If Tara means Pranava or Om, So what is Tara Phala? Because it is the original sound of the Vedas. So the fruit of chanting the Vedas. And what is that fruit? The fruit is Krishna Prem, dear devotees. But this fruit is very high on the Vedic tree. And it is very difficult for ordinary living entities to bring down Tara Phala, that high fruit of all the Vedic understanding, that is Krishna Prem. Therefore, they need a personality who can shake the tree of the Vedas and easily make Tara Phala accessible to the living entities. That personality is Sri Balaram. And therefore, Sri Balaram is understood to be the Adi Guru, because he brought down the Tala Phala, the ripened fruit of the Vedic tree, which is Sri Krishna Prem, and made it accessible for the living entities. So that is the secret behind why Balaram is Adi Guru. So I hope that Ram Tulsi Prabhu, that understanding brought some further light into Sri Balaram's role as Adi Guru.
Sure, Prabhu. I think. Thank you so much again for that wonderful talk. Anybody else has any questions? Nobody has questions. It's really wonderful, very, very technical. Maybe I don't know if it might be out of topic. I was just reading recently about the incarnation of the Lord by Parashar Muni, and the astrology says that, like, the four incarnations of the Lord, like this is Krishna, Ram, Varahadev, and Narsimha, actually are holy Paramatmas, like, and but other incarnations are also have some Jivamsa. So I've never heard of that. So how can we relate this? Because I thought, like, every although especially the 10 incarnations is Supreme Personality himself. So
No, what is specified is, I will give the exact quote. This is in Lagu Bhagavatamritam. In Lagu Bhagavatamritam, it is specified, and Rupa Goswami quotes that. What is the actual principle? He says, Nrasimha Rama Krishneshu Shadgunyam Paripuritam. I will share my screen, and this is what is spoken by Rupa Goswami. It is of this particular understanding is given by Rupa Goswami in Lagu Bhagavatamritam. So, Nrasimha Rama Krishneshu Shadgunyam Paripuritam. In three incarnations of Bhagavan, Nrasimha, Rama, and Krishna, Shadgunyam, the six qualities of Bhagavan, are in complete measure. So this is what it is said in Lagu Bhagavatamrita. Now, Sri Jiva Goswami says, please understand, although all these three are having the six qualities of Bhagavan in complete measure, still there is Taratamya. Taratamya means Narsimha is complete, Rama is more complete, and Krishna is most complete. So that is what there is still Taratamya. Although these three are Paripuritam, complete, yet there is Taratamya, there is hierarchy. Narsimha is complete, Ram is more complete, Krishna is most complete. All these incarnations have no Jiva Tattva within them. The only incarnation, the only type of incarnations which have Jiva Tattva within them, they are known as Shakti Avesh avatars. Shakti Avesh avatars are the only category of manifestations of Bhagavan, which is basically an empowered living entity doing the role of Bhagavan. So that is known as Shakti Avesh. Example of Shakti Avesh avatars are Prithu Maharaj, Bhagavan Parshuram. These are examples of Shakti Avesh avatars. All other avatars of Bhagavan have no involvement of Jiva Tattva within them. So that is the understanding given by Sri Rupa Goswami in Lagu Bhagavad Amrita. So I hope that clarifies, Prabhuji.
thank you, Prabhu, again for clarification. And it's really wonderful, like, to hear very deeper topic actually. Got to learn so many things. What is actually the Acharya thinks about, what is Shastra thinks about it. I really love the verses of Sri Harishuri. And I heard that you have also completed the book. So we can order it somehow, or it's already published, something, Prabhu?
Yeah, yeah. So Sri Suri wrote a commentary on the first 49 chapters of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is Vrindavan Leela, and some chapters of separation from Vrindavan Leela. So he says that he got one darshan of Shri Krishna in his life, and Krishna ordered him to write this commentary. Many realizations that are quoted in even within ISKCON, they come from him. For example, in Damodar Leela, the milk starts boiling because the milk wanted to commit suicide. So this realization was originally composed by Sri Harisuri in his commentary Bhakti Rasayanam. His commentary is very difficult to understand, and some verses are very cryptic. Most verses have dual meanings going on within them. I managed to translate the first 7 chapters in Hindi and publish the first volume, and I am currently working on the second volume. So the first volume of Bhakti Rasayanam is available on Amazon in India. So those who are in India, they can order it on Amazon India, and those who are in the US and they wish to order the Hindi book, they can contact me individually, and I will ensure that the book reaches them. But those who are in the US, those who are in India, and those who want to order Bhakti Rasayanam, I will share my screen. So this is Bhakti Rasayanam, and with the Hindi commentary Shruti Patri. So this is the name I gave to the Hindi commentary Shruti Patri. And this is the Pratham Kand first volume. And you can see this is the cover image where the author, after having been blessed by one darshan of Krishna, his entire world becomes Krishna conscious, and he is able to see various realizations related to Bhagavan Shri Krishna. And he writes a commentary in perfect Sanskrit language. This book also has been blessed with reviews by my revered spiritual master, Sri Srimad Radha Govind Das Goswami Maharaj. So his acceptance and his blessings have been given in the book. So those who wish to order, they can search for Bhakti Rasayanam on Amazon India. And if you are in the US, you wish to order for yourself, then you can kindly contact me. And I will definitely, ensure I am giving my email address here in the chat box. I will ensure that the book reaches you. Thank you so much.
Prabhu, I have a question on that. Are you planning on doing an English translation for your books as well, Prabhu?
Yes, 6 chapters out of the 7 have been translated into English. So the final chapters translation for the first volume is going on. And there is one Mataji from New Zealand. She is doing the translation. She is very expert. Although she is originally a Tamil speaking devotee, but her Hindi is very good. So she understands the Hindi, and she is doing the translation from the Hindi that I published into English. So very soon we'll bring out and the first volume of the English translation of Bhakti Rasayanam.
Jai, Jai. That's such a great news, Prabhu. Amazing. I mean, Hindi, as you say, Surid, when you get it, the way you speak in Hindi, Prabhu, is it's just you've also said in so many of your lectures that English kind of loses that rasa, but when we taste it in Sanskrit, and I don't understand that much Sanskrit, but then the way you present it in Hindi, the rasa is just so amazing. So really looking forward to that book, Prabhu, in Hindi, of course, and I'm sure others will be benefited by the English translation as well. It's just looking forward to it. Prabhu, my one question: when can we have your association again?
I'll shortly be traveling to the US, so I may come to Silicon Valley. So, maybe let's see, if the devotees who are there in the East Coast, maybe there are a few places that I may visit. So devotees who are present in Baltimore or places around Baltimore, such as Cincinnati, Columbus. So if there are devotees who stay nearby, definitely they can come. And maybe, we can also have
New
online.
Jersey. New Jersey is closer, Prabhu.
Prabhu, closer to New Jersey is Alachua, so please, Prabhu.
Yeah, yeah, I'll be coming to Alachua. So I'll also keep New Jersey in mind, but whatever is possible this time, I'll definitely try.
It will be a great fortune, Prabhu. Definitely, if we can have your personal association, so many things to learn, so many encouragement we can just get by those kind of association. Thank you again very much, Prabhu, for giving a valuable time for us. And hopefully, even you cannot make it person, we would definitely request, even after 2-3 months, you can come again, give this wonderful association, different topics. That will be our great fortune to hear. Thank you so much
Definitely.
again. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarvyascha kripa sindhuve cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananda koti vaishnavanda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Everyone can unmute and thank Prabhuji. Haribo. 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 Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hari
Srila
jai.
Prabhupada
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
Ki
Jai
jai.
Nityananda.
Jai
Hare
Nityananda. Hare Krishna.
Hare. Thank you.